Hey, good morning, pals. Hi. So I wanted to share something this morning. Hi, Courtney of Glow Holistics. Um, Sometimes I get messages asking me how I deal with certain things in the world. When the world looks like it's going to hell in a handbasket, how do you deal with that? And the way I deal with it is by, well, for instance, this morning, I got a message and it was a video, and she had said, "How do you deal with stuff like this? Plain and simple reality. How do you deal with this? Like, there's no ignoring this." And it was a video about the smart cities, and there's obviously a lot of concern about this. And yes, it can look like the world is going to hell in a handbasket. But how I deal with that is that I clicked on the video for seconds, 2 seconds, enough to realize what it was about, and I didn't watch it. And that's how I dealt with it. I know, because I spent a lot of time very interested in researching this kind of stuff, that reality, we live in a holographic reality. And what that means is that whatever I feel, whatever I'm thinking, however my subconscious is programmed, I'm going to see that as a reflection. That's going to be my reality, because that is how this universe works. It is holographic. So it's me first and then my outer reality. Like, I just won a Nobel Prize this year proving that reality is non-local. And in a nutshell, from my very elementary understanding, that means that if we are not focusing on it, it is not there. The double slit experiment proves this as well. You can YouTube it. It is absolutely fascinating. When we look at something, it is there. When we look away, it is not. So this means that there is infinite potential. All the potentials. We are living in a multiverse. It's not just one universe. It is a multiverse, and there are infinite timelines happening all the time. So what I'm focusing on, how I'm thinking, and my perspective is going to create this particular timeline for me. So I make sure that I saturate my life with things that feel really positive and really good. And I look up things like quantum jumping and timeline shifting and things like that, instead of listening to the insanity. Just don't do that. There's something called the consensus consciousness. When we're all thinking the same thing, a group of people are all thinking the same. They're talking the same. They are in fear. Now, that's the reality that is going to start to materialize in front of us. And that's what we see now. So it's up to us as individuals to focus our attention over to what is good and what is positive. There is a new earth being built, materializing. It already is for many of us. But it's going to take a lot more people in order to make that the consensus consciousness. So I invite you to look away from what does not feel good and focus on solutions. And it doesn't have to be so hard. It's literally, I wake up in the morning and I listen to a really inspiring podcast. I go for a walk. I'm like so present with the leaf and the worm and my breath, the things that are just, they're so precious. I do not pick up my phone first thing, because if I do, then, I'm not always in this dreamy state, and I notice myself getting dysregulated, and then my reality is starting to reflect back to me. Opportunities will fall away, or my van will break down, which ends up being a blessing, of course. Things like that will happen. It depends on where I'm putting my focus. I create my reality in every single moment. So that is how I deal with what might look like a flaming pile of garbage. It's not. It is. We live in a magical, magical time right now, and we have a lot of power if we take it back. And that is your awareness. Okay, take care. I love you guys. Bye.